what your favorite highlight is from the regional clash so far. And if your answer is selected, you stand a chance to win a piece of the $400 cash money prize pool.
Teams competing for a lot of cash money themselves. Leaderboard, though, still sitting atop is NRX John 316. We'll have to keep a special eye on them in the early game. They always know how to play it safe. But we're dropping onto Gili Island for game number 5 of our 7Zs today.
No, that's not catching on.
Still used it. Can't stop me, fish.
No.
It's out there. It's in the world.
Oh, boy.
It's on to Gili Island, like the rest of the teams. Look at the spread right now, actually. We're seeing normal drop for NRX John on the logging camps, but a lot of teams up here by observatory. This is the most concentration we've seen up there, I think.
Yeah. Who's up here with SEO as well as Pirate Team? We've got
Yeah, they're the normal ones.
We've got Bren Esports in the observatory. Then we've got Just Team close by. Pirate King also not too far off, but that's a big cluster down towards the observatory.
Yeah.
Logging camps are still NRX and only NRX.
A lot of teams also going to be hanging out around Bitter Lake, but look at that circle. It's actually favoring the observatory drop teams. It once again goes towards the east, and there's a huge chunk of it already in the ocean, which means we might actually see a more accelerated game depending on where successive circles are dropped.
Can't tell if SEAL Team lost 2 players very early on or only loaded with 2. I only see 2 4 dots.
Honestly, they don't seem to need a full 4 squad to make it to the top finish anyways.
Unless it's 2 players in 2 different cars moving as a convoy, SEAL Team might not have loaded in as a full squad or maybe lost 2 players very early on. Only 1 player's actually been dropped so far, so that theory's wrong. Here's a fate on your screen. One of the teams that are tied for 3rd. Bren Esports already getting to a fight, and that's what we expect. Pirate Team and Bren Esports all dropping towards the observatory. Take us over. Come on.
Yeah, we're going to move over there. It's
Get
Tina Pei that's finding a few shots, and yeah, this is the fight on observatory with more players really left up. It's Valentine who's going to get dropped down by Zeldrins, and this is bad for Pirate Team. They had a bad round 4, but had been still sitting in the 2nd place position. This is going to shoot them down the standings again. But for Bren Esports, it's the exact opposite. They had been dropping quite significantly low prior to this, and now they're going to pick up some early frags. Whether they stay alive is another story. Roger gets dropped out of the car. Rayong may end up being the last one standing from Pirate Team, and the rest of Bren Esports are hot on his heels. Rayong is going to try and drive away. Might just be able to do it. Car's still lit up, but not enough to get the kills.
Not enough indeed.
That's a med strat going out for Pirate Team.
A reactive med shot.
Yeah, he almost had no health. That could have very well been the end.
True.
But Pirate Team do manage to sneak away. I think Bren Esports will always remember this as the day that they almost caught Rayong.
Sad that Pirate Team aren't playing Valentine today. I haven't seen her play.
I think we saw Valentine just then, but was dropped
Just
early.
dropped
But that
early.
was the first time.
We haven't seen till today, right? Which is strange because Pirate Team, the entire tournament, even last split, they've been a 5-man roster through and through. They're a team that will substitute out players all the time. Like they'll put one in, take one out, just thumb's gonna go down.
Yeah, I think that is a little bit surprising that they've waited this long to actually sub in Valentine because she is definitely one of the standout players on that squad.
So Valentine taking some time to jump in, and again, it's just such a strange thing because. Oh, Delicious going to get knocked in as well. Double left, can't catch a break, losing a player right off the bat to number 1. Again, number 1 finds them. It's like they're hunting down Double F. Different compound again. But they've been a 5-man roster. They substitute 1 player out every single map, giving everyone a run. But Valentine's always just been this kicker to the team. She's such a good player that she provides the clutch plays, and we've seen them through so many highlights across different seasons. But haven't seen her drop in so far. Pirate Team had a few really good maps. Just kind of dropping off in the last few games. So this one's going to be a med strat for them as we go into map 5. See if things can turn around for them with the final 2 maps coming up soon.
Looks like once again we're finding an early fight between number 1 and FF here. These guys just can't catch a break early on, and they're, to add on to it, in the middle of a bombing zone. But I don't think the breaching team is actually having too much trouble there as the Kiss goes through, finding a lot of damage, a lot of kills. It almost seems like it's free kills at this point.
Oh, boy. Number 1, execute Double F again. Every map we've seen him get executed is almost Double F. That's the one that's going to run against number 1. And That brings them up to 85 solid points, Double F. They are not having a good tournament so far.
Well, that's a little unfortunate. I think there's little to no chance they could move their way up the standings at this point. Still have some games left to play, but it seems like every Roundfish has had more and more action in the early phases, but it has always been these teams that are, for the most part, lower down in the standings, with a few exceptions. Pirate team getting caught out there early on, forced to have Rayong make a daring escape in the night and just try and get his way to a med strat. I don't know what to think, to be honest, because this is not the same as we've typically seen from SEA games, but in the regular regional clash phase, it's different.
It just comes down to how much value I see NRX having based on their drop path. NRX are a team, they'll always drop locking camps. This is so widely known. Every single team in this map knows NRX are going to drop there. Why this is so important to NRX? They never run into these fights. They don't have to. NRX have the locking camps all to themselves. Everyone keeps such a big radius away from locking camps.
And that's a central location, which means no matter where the circle actually goes, they can move to it pretty easily.
But even then, it's not even about central location. No fights early game. They just loot for 10 minutes, and then they can start playing the map. So they never have to risk the chances of being Pirate Team or WAFF, where they will get knocked out as one of the first few squads. Sure, during their rotation into the map, they could find a fight or two, which is where your point comes in. They're so central, it's not too far of a distance to move. But they're never the first team to be eliminated. They're never the first team to drop. They have that consistency. And in these Battle Royale tournaments, consistency is what everyone's seeking out for, which is why med stratting is so popular. It's consistent. You consistently place in the top 4 because of it. Now top 6, given how popular the strategy is. But consistency is what allows you to be here. If you told me that Fate, if you cover all the points, you cover up all the points, you don't tell me after coming into this map how many points each team has gotten, and you told me Fate is tied for 3rd, I wouldn't believe you. Because realistically, they've had one good game, right? One good game, and that good game was map 2, where Fnatic knocked them out at the very end. Knocked them into 6th place. So if you told me they won that fight against Fnatic, sure, I would say that 3rd place possible. But after watching that, I would never have guessed that they're 3rd place. But they are. And they are because they've consistently placed in the top 5. There hasn't been a map where Fate have been knocked out of that top 5 spot.
And that's what's allowed them to maintain a solid position, but you know, I think I want to give a little bit of like a numerical context behind how strong NRX John actually are, because we talk about how they have very safe early games because nobody dares to get near them. You consider that a team like that might be relying on placing highly due to positional finishes won't necessarily have as many kills, but that's not the case. We see it at the end of every single game. NRX John at the end of the game always mop up a ton of kills, mow down opponents, and as a result, out of all the teams left in the top 15, over the course of this entire tournament, they have the highest kills per map across the way. About 6.5, a little bit shy of that. But that means they're fragging out at least 6 players every single game. That's more than 1 per player of their own team. So they're just an extremely efficient team on top of being really good at staying alive.
They play the strategy very well. A lot of people say, okay, SEAL Team, Fate, they're your med stratting teams. They play the 3-1 strategy.
Yeah. SEAL Team, funnily enough, are the team that has the least amount of kills per map, and that's why.
But NRX are really the gods of the med strat. The reason why is you never notice they're doing it. And I say this in all honesty. You look at the maps they've played so far. NRX, 2nd in map 1 to NR Warriors. And then they drop down map 2 below 5th, drop down map 3 below 5th. So you're thinking, why NRX so high up in points? It's because in all those maps where they weren't placing 1st, which is the 4th map, they were med stratting. NRX had a dedicated person to med strat. They always do. They always make sure they have one person ready to med strat if they have to. But when they get into positions like map 4, where they can take 1st, suddenly you've got all 4 players in the zone. They know exactly when to do it and when not to.
Yeah, they have a baseline of performance. They always seem to hit it. Now as they drive through here, a little bit dangerous as Zippy gets dropped down. They did get into a bit of a fight with Fury Rhodes as they headed up by Research Edifice. Aichi trying to bunny hop his way, but 6ix9ine is right there behind him. Hello, nearly getting dropped down as well. And even more dangerous in these skirmishes still are NRX John 316. Like an AA, does get killed by Aichi though, so this might be a tough situation.
Zippy's down as well. This is a big fight.
Here's Hello. Moving out. Doesn't get downed, but he downs 6ix9ine. This actually could be the turnaround.
JC's the last man standing, but he's been spotted. His rubber chicken just got hit.
Give
not
away some
chasing him,
positioning
though.
there. They're not going to go for it.
His hammer just got hit, so Jay-Z lived based on that hammer. He's still being shot.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a break for it. But
Oh, there's another squad here. He's
Yeah.
like, oh no,
so
please.
I think the caster curse is very real here as Jay-Z gets dropped down. NRX John losing a lot of members
Wait,
early on.
that's the
Lion
second-
gets the kill.
That's the second team to be eliminated. NRX just get knocked down. I think they're only going to get 10 points for this map.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of a
That's
spanner in the works
massive.
of their strategy. But is it going to be enough for teams to actually overtake them in this round? There's still a chance. I mean, that does open the floodgates.
That is massive. NRX get caught rotating out. That's the one thing that you pointed out. They're so central. Their rotation's much shorter. Doesn't mean they're invincible. Sure, it's just like, I'll take that.
Now, they've
sure.
got as many hit points as everybody else, but you know, it just kind of figures we spend a lot of time talking about NRX John and how good they are, and that's the round they mess up. But that's how it is sometimes in Rules of Survival. Nobody is perfect.
It's big, though. This is big for the top 5. Remember that what separates them from third is 230 points. So if one of those teams that's currently in third gets a first place finish, as long as they get 2 kills with it, they're going to overtake NRX for first.
Yeah.
It's equally as important for Pirate Team, who only have 1 player left alive, and now a lot of the middle of the pack teams are going, Pirate Team have 1 player, NRX have been eliminated. The tie for third is only a few hundred points away from us in the middle of the pack. This is much doable.
Yeah.
It seems like every map we've gotten into it. Map 4 was the final map to me where I was like, NRX have done it. They've secured first place. Come
All
on.
of a sudden, this happens.
Then this happens. And it just like every time you think things are about to return to normal, spanner in the works have been thrown. And again, like you correctly pointed out before we got into this map, S tier team, NRX, A tier, there's 4 teams there, then B tier all the way to 12th. It's a very even grand final when battle royales are considered. Remember, it can come down to the final map here, 7th map.
And that is where you start to talk about that mental toughness. Teams who've been playing, for a long time, really maintaining the level. And we'll have to see. We're still only on map number 5 here, and this fight continues between Pirate King and Fire Rose on the edge. Shibuya, we've got vision here as everyone's kind of hiding behind these watchtowers and behind debris. Nobody's safe. Fury Roads. Sorry, I misspoke there on the wrong FR. Well within the circle of play. Looks like Shibuya is actually going to make a run for it. And here's Lion going to be driving through. Should pick up Shibuya on the way. Perhaps not. All right. Fight's still a stalemate for now. We're checking with Fate, a team that has been our consistent 5th place performer. Solid out of the team from Singapore. But Ruben is outside the circle of play right now. Not to worry.
They just lost one of their members, at least got him dropped down. Didn't get to see if they actually died. Fortunately, their team squad banners are bugged out a little bit on the observers, so I can't see if they're still alive or not.
Here's Fire Rose. Still having some trouble parking inside the house. It's not a garage, guys.
It is a garage. Well, the front part is.
But yeah, I mean, I guess these houses are a little weirdly designed. It's like at some point, why does your garage have a tile floor?
I don't know.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but, the Gili Island architectural style is a bit different.
As an architect, I disagree with all the decisions.
You also disagree with a lot of the player decisions, though, too. You're a disagreeable person, Fish. All right, so we're down to 42 here. Reason that's significant is because, once again, we have one of these games where we have more than a kill per minute, which it just doesn't seem to happen very much in Southeast Asia, but now in the grand finals, teams are a bit more trigger happy. Sometimes you go for these bigger, bolder plays. Doi SCA from Fire Rose. And he's been a pretty standout player, I think, over the course of the regional clash phase, but today it's been a little quieter for Fire Rose. They started to creep back up the standings, but they had a really poor start to today. Placement-wise, just hadn't been there. Now they're sitting in 9th.
They've just been playing spoiler, right? There's not too much else to say.
But there's the thing, though, is like, we say they're in the lower end of the standings. They are only about 50 points out from getting into 6th place. That's where Pirate Team sits right now. So it has been very close in this middle of the pack. That could shift quite a lot before today's over. Will likely shift very fast before today's over. Now we check in with number 1, Nemesis Feta, the Kiss. These guys have been the nemesises of WAFFF today. It seems like every early fight involves those two
Always
teams.
finding them so early on. It's in different locations as well. So WF
That's the thing. They're
must
not
be so
just they're
pissed
not
off.
scouting the drops either. They just keep running into each other. Unfortunately for WAFFF, they seem to lack the accuracy and the execution ability that their opposite number has.
Keeps happening.
Yeah.
Here's Pirate Team's final player, Ryong, just below AROV. Going to be difficult to spot him out.
Yeah, I don't think he's keen. Iron Pro's kind of, I think, for the time being, he's alone. Don't see if his teammates are anywhere near. There's a couple. There's Brent Esports on the opposite side of that hill. Brent Esports starting a fight early on. There's the teammates of AROV. And we'll check in on Fnatic as well. This is CT. Fnatic have had, I think, by all accounts, a bad final. They had one great round. They won map 2. And things looked like, okay, this is Fnatic coming back into it. They're going to take some power back for themselves. Ever since then, it's not looked great. Fnatic have a lot of catching up to do if they want to place high in this tournament.
Fnatic have been disappointing me for a lot of reasons. They keep making a lot of errors where Fnatic are meant to be the strongest, right? So if you can capitalize on your strengths the same way a lot of teams make it into the top 5. Steel Team, Fake capitalize on medge trading, NRX capitalize on just destroying everyone in their site. You can make it really far, but Fnatic are faltering where they're the strongest, which is from minute 1 to minute 23, nobody should want to run into Fnatic. That's a death wish. You don't want that to happen. However, it keeps happening, and Fnatic keep losing those fights. The fights that are meant to be the strongest at.
It's troubling to kind of fall apart at the finish line, and to see that happen here for a team, especially with the prestige of Fnatic, having that organization backing them. You don't want to see that happen for sure. Small Boy finding another frag here. It's on to Ezio.
Another team that's having a disappointing performance. They were the newcomers for the Thai region. We had a lot of questions towards them. In the first few weeks, they proved us wrong. They were a force to be reckoned with. Top of the table at some point.
Ezio Gaming.
Yeah, and they, unfortunately today, they're second last, I believe, by a huge margin too. Not having a good grand finals.
Yeah. Well, the issue with Ezio is it seems like, just like WAFFF, they find these early fights, but unfortunately for them, it's not just one team on one team, so even though they execute well, they get dropped early on by whoever comes in and cleans it up. Now, Fate are going to find Just Team here. Neko's going to hop out the car. We're in for a bit of a fight just outside the stealth bomber. It's TikTok getting hid behind the debris. Neko not able to find him just enough to down him, and Neko is going to get dropped himself. So now it's on to Davejan, who's the hero of that round that Fate actually managed to get themselves into third place, but he gets dropped down too. Akame getting him. And Royven, he was the one split looting, way on the other side of the map, so Hill will just be med stratting.
Guess who's med stratting? It's Fate. They get dropped out. They still got someone med stratting.
Yeah.
Of course.
This is where, if you're the other 3 players just going to eliminate, you just kind of shrug and go, all right, back to the same old, same old.
To just shrug and go, well, it's all down to you now. Can you hit your medicine button quick enough?
It's an effective strategy. All right, here's number 1. They've had a very quiet game since their usual fight with WAFFF. AROV, though, are on the high ground above them. Would block them from coming up this hill to try and get back into the zone of play once the green zone narrows down. We're getting into that point of the game where teams will have to start thinking about that. As play zone 5 will come in just a little bit of time. 37 players still up. AROV holding onto this high ground. It's been very up and down for the Malaysian team, I think. They've had some really stand-up performances, but the last few rounds haven't seen as much for them.
We know there's a whole army of people that are supporting them right now.
Yeah, they have a lot of fan support. That's 100% true. Definitely fan favorites, crowd pleasers. Will they be able to deliver, though? That's the question. Still time to turn it around. As we mentioned, places 6th through 11th and 12th, a lot closer than a lot of the other placements, so plenty of time still to break into the top 10. Now we see number 1 fighting from the low ground. Did get a knockdown. Kiss takes some damage. Heals himself back up. Looks like CT might be in a fight with Raynell here from Bren Esports. Bren Esports have had a really up and down day as well. I mean, they started pretty much like second place. They won a map in round 3, and it's kind of been downhill from there.
Yeah, Bren Esports, it came back to what we talked about at the start of today. When they're on form, nobody can take them down. They tore through Pirate Team, NRX, AROV in map 3, and then you go into map 4, second team to be eliminated. It's a shame because their form in map 3 is what we've seen so many times. It wasn't luck, it was how they played, and they played it fantastically. But their consistency is all over the place. So when you take their map 3 and map 4 performance and you average it, they finished 8th.
Yeah.
And that's a huge drop from a first place, highest points we had seen on the day, 310, all the way down to 8th.
There was the run for number 1. Feta going to get dropped down by Iron Pro as he tries to make a break for it. And this is what happens when a team finds you and you're on the edge of the play zone. You get snuck up on, can't do much here. Nemesis trying to climb up as well. Iron Pro is a little bit low. Half his health bar still remains. But it's number 1 that have to make moves because they're outside the field of play. He's going to make a break for it. Ooh, Iron Pro taking some punishment himself. He actually gets downed. This might be a chance for Nemesis.
I really want to see where the rest of the players are. This is a big outskirts battle that we're seeing, 21 with 22 minutes in. Iron Pro is going to die here to the zone and Pirate Team. Pirate Team.
Oh, wait, Rayong!
Take it. No, Rayong, don't step
he revealed his position!
No.
Rayong!
Nemesis! Nemesis says, thank you very much. I'll take that kill. And now the second place team overall has been knocked down.
So
NRX and Pirate Team, they're out of this one.
This is a round certainly to talk about. NRX John Pirate Team both falling down within the top 30, but
so you're really looking at Seal, you're looking at Fate, and you're looking at NR Warriors. This is any one of these teams' game to take. But
hey, remember, Fate are med-stratting already. They're down to 1 player.
Fate have lost 3. We haven't seen too much of Seal or NR Warriors just yet.
The thing is, if Fate end up placing like top 3 or something, they very well, as long as Seal Gaming or NR Warriors don't place higher than them, they very well could shoot right up this. I don't think they'll necessarily get into first place because NRX John are still 230 points ahead. They only get like 10 points off this last round, but I mean, wow. Oof. Holy crap.
You say that,
Seal
just
Gaming
killed.
just get all of Ezio.
Ezio is just dying. Seal just like, yep. How about that, Pyro?
And that wasn't even like an RPG. That was just AR-15s, just rifle kills back and forth. Okay, so Seal Gaming coming up with some frags themselves. Ezio getting eliminated. And we're down to 23 players just like that. Fnatic still have one up. It's Vorax. Maybe more than just one, but that's the only one we see on the screen at the moment. Ironically, this is one of Fnatic's best rounds. Breach into the house here. It's going to be Fury Roads on the opposite side. It's Aichi getting the heal on. Both these teams are outside the zone, and we are in play zone 5. Most of the teams trying to group up. Still have a handful of dedicated med stratters. Taking a look at the strongest teams in terms of position and players left up. Pirate King are one of them. Also, Fire Rose, who we just saw a little bit earlier.
So Seal Gaming still there, and our Warriors are still there. Fate's still here as well. Look at Fate though; they are actually next to Seal's Medstrata. Oh no, they're gonna run into each other. That's a fight I want to see. Quick, get us over there!
Yeah, back over
they're
to
fighting in Weak Town. Oh, Seal won, and Ruben's gonna lose.
That's the worst fate of place today. And
oh
no! So the Medstrat isn't always safe.
All right, look,
if other teams are doing it next to you.
Unpopular opinion: Thuk is now gonna take second.
That means Seal Team should really jump up the standings.
Yep. The reason why Thuk is going to take second is because they just killed a Medstrata. And when a Medstrata kills another Medstrata, you take all his meds.
Oh no, you're right! Oh man, yeah, that's going to be huge. All right. So we should see Seal Gaming start to overtake a couple of squads here.
Thuk's going to be laughing with the amount of meds he's picked up.
Yeah, for Vietnam. All right, let's check back in with Pirate King here because it looks like Sanji is going to get spotted in the crosshairs of Mashiro, who can't quite gun him down. And again, it shouldn't matter because Duk should just be able to propel SEAL Team up the standings as well as he split off. The rest of this SEAL Team squad are, of course, over here by Research Edifice, where the circle starts to close in. Mashiro throwing up a couple more grenades as Brenny Sports gets eliminated. It looked like that was due to zone damage. How about this for Pirate King, though? They've actually been slowly creeping back up the leaderboards, and with the way they've been playing in this round, that should help them out quite a bit as well.
Should.
Here's Fnatic's Vorax. Trying to drive through. Yada's going to see him there. Vorax is going to hop out and see if he gets behind the stump in time. He does, and he gets Yada down. And now it's going to be Hwanong who gets dropped by Mashiro. Vorax is still in this. Fnatic still have members left. At least one in the final 11. Oh, Vorax does get killed finally by Doi.
Sanji being knocked down here. FR holding on to his position. So yeah, Sanji gets killed, but Seal still have someone trending outside the zone.
Lions going to get the knockdown onto Ayatats.
I know Warriors. That's a team we have to watch out for.
Yeah, they've been very quiet this round.
They can leapfrog to first with a good position here.
Yes, they can. The Kiss is going to get a knockdown there.
So a win here for NR Warriors will put them in first. As long as they win. First place, and they'll come first. Overall in the tournament, this will be a big shake-up into the positional finish.
Yeah, this will be a lot more like what we saw in round number 1, so things have been and continue to shift around. Number 1 gets eliminated off of that. We're still keeping our eyes on Doi from Fire Rose. One of the teams really vying to kind of jump ahead of that B-tier pack that we've been seeing between 7th and about 12th place. Mashiro from Pirate King moving forward, looking for Ayatats. Will get the kill on that Vector. Now it's up to him and Doi. Down to 7 players, including Medstraters. Mac 4 here, along with Mashiro.
Really good spot coming out for No Rules. This is a huge round for them. NRX fall, you see Seal, you see Fate fall, you see Pirate Team fall. This is their chance to leapfrog to first. Now they were 230 points away from NRX.
And they've also got somebody Medstratting just outside. That's Majapagi.
Yep, they were 235 points away from third place.
They have
now
all 4 players.
NRX take 10 points from this game, so 45. Sorry, Majapaki actually shooting over towards NR Warriors? That might not be NR Warriors down there. Who the heck is that? No, that is not NR Warriors. That is Pirate King.
Ah, excuse me, Mashiro, yes, and Mac 4.
So Majapagi, he's not going to be able to take first place. He's not going to be able to overtake NRX Warriors. Pirate King are holding on to the zone. 5 kills to Mashiro, 2 over towards the other player.
Pirate King should start jumping up in the standings, actually. They actually might be in a position to overtake NR Warriors if they keep this up. They're still about 140 points behind. Getting closer to 28 minutes on the clock now.
So none of the top 5 teams are going to take first place in this one, unless there's a big upset. They should be fine. They're spread out quite evenly throughout this play zone. You've got Doi C that's still inside the zone itself, so Pirate King have to be a little bit careful.
They're hunting for Doi.
Sees Doi.
And he gets the down and the elimination. Nicely played by Mashiro. 6 kills to that player today. Fire Rose get eliminated. Now we are down to 6 left, and should be all 4 members of Pirate King left. So I believe that's just one from NR Warriors. And the last one, I think you pointed out earlier, that got the kill early on from Seal Gaming. It should be Took.
NR Warriors, Took, and one final player.
Majapagi. He gets killed.
Shibuya still outside. So, yep, just down to Seal. Seal will take second place.
Go figure. Definitely solid at the med strat. So, victory lap there for Pirate King with a fantastic placement. There's Took. Waiting in the grass by Research Edifice. He's actually not that far out of the zone. He has a sports car, too, if he wants to go in a blaze of glory.
He's not going to make it in 400 meters.
No, definitely not.
Really good map coming out from Pirate King. We'll be here for about another 4 minutes as Stook will use all his meds that he picked up from Fate.
Maybe he'll put another world record on. Please. Breaking his own record.
Don't need this.
All right, well, start the clocks. What were we up to? 31 something?
55.
30-55. He nearly broke 31 minutes. Maybe he can do it this time.
I don't think he's going to.
I believe.
I do not believe.
I believe in Took.
I have no faith.
Let's find out. Shibuya also med-stratting, but unnecessarily since his team is the last standing in the play zone. Oh, he's going for a drive. All right. Yeah, Thuk should die before he actually gets there, but a stylish race to the end nonetheless. So that's the end of it all, and Pirate King take the first, Seal take second. That will be very interesting for the standings. You can see NR Warriors in third.
Yeah, NR Warriors are going to take second place outright, just behind NRX now. Pirate Team, as well as Fate and Seal all dropping a